What's going on, guys? It's Ben here from BH Aquatics, and in today's video we're just going to be doing a how-to on breeding for profit. So to start off, basically, some of you may know I already have a couple of how-tos on breeding for profit on the channel already, so you might be wondering why I'm doing one again. Well, I did say I was going to do a part 3, but this version is basically an updated version for myself, for those past videos, and for those of you that want to see a more detailed version, that's coming in this one as well. So, to start right off, we're going to be talking about what truthfully breeding for profit means. Alright, so in this tank we have our steel nebula guppies, and we have about 3 pairs of them, and they reproduce quite often, but the thing that we do in this tank is we just let them naturally breed. So if they reproduce and they give off a couple of babies, and they eat some of them, then they do. If some of them live, then they do. You know, it's like natural selection, basically. But that's not what you want to do when you're breeding for profit. When breeding for profit, you're going to want to end up with something more like this, where you do more like artificial selection, where you have like something like a breeder net, such as this one right here, that you put your like pregnant fish in to release lots and lots of babies. For instance, these here are sapphire guppies. One mother dropped every single one of these. There's about 50 in here. So the whole point of doing this thing with the artificial selection rather than the natural selection with the breeder net is so that you're able to keep up with the amount of fish that your dealers are going to need each month or each week, depending on whenever you're selling to them. Another thing you're going to want to know when breeding for profit is where you want to sell your fish. So, personally, I recommend I don't recommend to sell to large box stores like Petco, PetSmart, Pet Supplies Plus, different things like that. I recommend to sell to the mom and pop stores, like your local fish store where the owners of the pet store only own one, or even if they own a couple of them, you know, just things that aren't spread out around the world, worldwide companies like the big box stores. I just find that these mom and pop stores are much easier to deal with, and they're much more accepting when it comes to you walking into their store and saying, hey, I want to sell fish to you. They're more likely willing to say yes, rather than the big box stores who most likely will say no, unless you have something really good for them. One of the other things you want to remember is that these mom and pop stores, even though they're the easiest to deal with, they're always going to be looking for the best deal. I mean, that's basically how life is. No matter what you're selling, if it's livestock, if it's artificial products like plastics, you know, anything, materials, you're selling anything, whoever you're selling them to is always going to be looking for the best price. So you want to set your fish at the reasonable price. So since I know a little bit about wholesale dealing, guppies like the ones that I'm trying to sell for to mom and pop stores, they go for about $1 on wholesale prices in the local area, in the Worcester County area. Now, these fish, because the mom and pop stores are going to be looking for the best price, they're going to want to be able to beat the local wholesale price. So you might want to drop it down to 75 cents. Whereas 50 cents might be a little too low, 75 cents, you're able to give them the price that they want while you're still going to be able to make a decent profit. Especially if you're selling 50, 60 fish a week. I mean, you're going to still be making like $30, $35, $30, $40 a week if you're bringing in tons of these fish doing selective, like artificial selective breeding. So the last thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you know the dealer that you're selling to. Now, I don't mean you know them on a personal level. Well, you can if you, let's say maybe your best friend owns the store. You can if you want, but basically what I'm recommending you do is walk in, buy a couple of things from this dealer, make sure that you can start up a good relationship with him in the future, so that sometime down the line, if you have any more fish that you want to sell to him, he's going to be willing to buy from you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video as much as I have enjoyed making it, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.